So starting with 1 pound ankle weights. So I have a lighter weight, mostly because sometimes I just like to add a little bit more of a grounding sensation with my legs rather than a full-on like added weight. So this for me is enough to just remind me how long my legs are and that they're out there, right? So I can start to work with that. Let's bring those feet bent in front of us as we start to move through our roll down ab series. Squeezing those thighs together, reaching the arms forward. Let's just tuck and roll and pick it back up. So now I want you to use the weight around your ankles to again, anchor the feet in this position as we lengthen the spine, sort of pulling it away from the feet. As though like peanut butter, you're spreading it on butter, spreading it on toast, right? Or butter, melting into toast, lengthening it. Last one, can we stay here? Give a little squeeze of your thighs. Let's open the right arm out. Exhale, pull to center. Left arm, exhale, pull to center. So think 2 legs are one, squeezing them together. They don't actually change position. Good. Heels are anchored. Last one left. All the way up. Add a little lift if you'd like. Exhale, tuck. Up and tuck. So I feel a deep fold in my hip crease, and then I'm lengthening back down. Last one. Stay here for me. We're going to go back to the arms going up and down. So as the hands come up overhead, anchor through the pelvis, anchor through those heels, pull the navel away from the quads. Last one. All the way up. Lift and tuck. Lift and tuck. So where is that length through your low back, the feeling of spreading yourself down. Last one. We're going to tuck and roll. This time we're going to hold, turning to the right. Now our right hand is going to come up. We're going to cross our body with the left, pulsing it, obliques again. 8, 7, twist it. 6, soften your shoulders. 5, 4, where's your waist? 3, 2, and 1. Back through center, pick it up. Exhale, pour it back down. Lengthen, turn to the left. Left arm comes up. Right arm is going to stretch across. Here's that twist. Here's the saw. 8, 7, 6, squeeze the legs. 5, 4, wrap the back of your shoulder around to the front. 2, and 1, close back to center. Pick it up. Let's set those legs wide on the mat. Walk your sit bones back out from underneath you just a little bit. We're going to move through our saw, and now the weight here at the front of our body is going to help keep the legs active in this exercise. Open those arms out to a T. Let's go ahead and start to inhale to the right, lifting nice and tall. The right hand is going to turn down. I'd like you to find the mat today behind you. Lift up and over with that left arm. Now think of your left foot. How do you feel anchored from the foot all the way to that sit bone, even as you stretch forward towards the right? As you come back up, both hands come back to that T, through center, to the left. Hand comes down. Think of your right foot. Anchor it. Think of the weight that you have to stretch out of as you fold forward and twist. We're stretching into the back of our shoulders again, just like that peppermint twist, right? The feeling of lifting, maybe a little tuck to the wheel of the pelvis. Just reaching back up. Let's hit once more to the left. Anchor, hand and feet. Stretch out of that anchor. All the way back up through center. So through center, lying prone on the mat as we work through our extension. Reaching those legs behind you. Find a comfortable position at first. Don't worry too much about where they're at. We're going to work at least through the upper body just a little bit. Coming back to that feeling of twist. Glue your forehead to your hands. Your hands making a pillow in front of you. And think that you're going to lengthen through the cervical spine. So I want you to draw your chin back just a little bit to give yourself like a triple chin, right? So it might not look very pretty, but that's okay because nobody can see you. So from here, your focus is on the length of your cervical spine before we add in the legs, right? So think head to toe. Start by drawing your chin back towards your neck and think that you're going to press your head up into the ceiling, floating it off your hands, and then place it back down. Draw your chin back, lengthening the cervical spine, pressing the back of your head into the ceiling above you, and soften. Little cue, tuck the wheel of your pelvis ever so slightly. So you feel like you're sliding your sit bones down the back of your thighs towards your ankles. Last one like this. Now, I'd like you to glue your forehead to your hands, and so the whole unit, arms included, float up towards the ceiling and soften. We just made this a whole lot bigger. Up, it's a lot more weight. Keep the wheel of your pelvis turned ever so slightly so that you don't do this from your low back. Last one like this, and soften. Now we're going to lift, and we're going to hold. We're going to stay lifted. You're going to turn, peeking out from underneath your right elbow as you tap your left elbow down, back through center, twist. Back through center, and twist. Whew. Back through center, soften your shoulders, soften your shoulders, soften your shoulders. We've got 4. And center. Last 3. And center. Woo, melt those shoulders. 2. And center. Last 1. And center, soften everything down. Oh, let it breathe. So from here, keep your upper body quiet. You don't have to do anything with your upper body now. We're going to look at our legs. Reaching through the legs, turn the wheel of your pelvis ever so slightly so that you think you're long through the low back, lifting the navel, sliding those sit bones down towards your ankles. Without moving your low back, start to float your right leg up and place it back down. Left leg up. This is so much heavier now. There's a lot of weight down there, right? Oh. Try not to rock the boat. Don't let the wheel of your pelvis wobble, right? But keep it nice and still as you lift and lower. We're going to add both legs. Both legs together are going to lift and lower. Lift and lower. Keep pulling the navel in and up, in and up, in and up. I want you to try to turn the inside of your thighs up towards the ceiling. So you're not in an external rotation. We're trying to hold parallel. 4. Almost there. 3. Last 2. And last 1. Soften. We're going to kick the legs up. We're going to find a wide second, turning them out. Then we're going to lift them up. We're going to pull them back together. Open, tap wide. Open, squeeze together. Open, tap wide. Open, squeeze together. We are now rotating in the hip. Squeeze. Back and forth. 5. Keep lifting the navel. 4. Lifting the abdominals. 3. Give me 2. Almost there. Last 1. Draw those legs back together. Give a little squeeze. Soften. Bring the hands beside your shoulders, pressing yourself back into a child's pose. Take a stretch for that low back. Some of that work we just did, we try not to aggravate it, but sometimes when those abs get tired, that's the first thing to go to work. Breathe. Gently wave yourself back through center. And this time we're going to lay all the way down onto the mat. Reaching it nice and long. Whew. So I'd like us to move through our leg circles. Leg circles today, as long as you engage your abs, can be big, right? So try not to think that you're just letting go and like free flow, but that we're very focused on the sense of exhale, engaging the core to help us with this exercise. So let's open our arms to our T. Left leg is going to lengthen down. You're going to use the weight around your ankle to help stabilize as you extend the right leg up towards the ceiling. And now that weight around your ankle is a little bit of work. We're going to pull the leg towards our nose. We're going to start to circle over towards the left, around, and then back up. Now this is where you can start to move a little bit. Maybe the pelvis goes with you. Last 4, little rock. Give me 3. Last 2. And last 1. All the way up. We reverse, open out. Scoop. Ooh, a little different that way. 5. Give me 4. Last 3. Give me 2. How are you pulling your leg back up, anchoring your pelvis? Last one. Stay up here. We're going to switch the legs. Big scissor. We're going to go back now towards the right. Cross, pull up to your nose, cross your center line, down around. Ooh la la. And then start to make it bigger. 4. Give me 3. Think of your peppermint twist, the very beginning of class. The pelvis and the shoulders are working here. Last one. All the way up. We switch out around and last 4. Give me 3. Almost there. 2. And last one. Woo, we're going to bring it all the way up towards the ceiling. Both legs up towards the ceiling. Hands are going to pull down along beside us. We're going to move into our rollover teaser combo. Woo, so now the weight is going to add a lot more work, both for a hamstring stretch and how to get back up. Start to float the legs away. They don't have to go very far. As you start to lift them up, find the scoop. Lift up and back. Woo, now those weight, pull your feet to the floor to help that hamstring stretch. Feels really good. Flex your ankles, open 6 inches. Lift the navel away from the quads and roll yourself down 1 vertebra at a time. Woo, once you feel your pelvis soften, we're gonna go back to the circles. Out around, curling yourself up. Find a moment of teaser. Woo, I'm gonna go ahead and lengthen, lift up and over and forward fold. Stretch. As you pull yourself back down, think long, low back. Drag those heels. I'm going to bend, extend, and scoop. Up and back. Flex. Open 6 inches. Woo. Reach through the arms. Make them work. Start to lengthen and lower. Lengthen and lower. Think of that melting butter on toast again. Find a moment in that teaser. Up, and over, forward fold. We've got one more. Wherever you're at, you can bend your knees. They do not have to be as long. Up and over. Woo. Flex. Open 6 inches. Start to pour yourself down. Long, low back. Long, low back. Out around. Oof. Up. Keep reaching. Keep reaching. Keep reaching. Up and over. Woo, and fold. And all the way back up. Very good. We're going to flip facing towards the mat. All right, so coming into a tabletop exercise, we're going to next move into our plank series. So full plank or kneeling plank, user's choice. Start in a tabletop. We'll all start with more of that modified plank. Feet are going to be flexed into the mat, and hands are going to be slightly in front of you. So that as we start to shift our weight forward, we feel that moment of plank. As we start to lift the abdominals, shift our weight back, we have a little bit of like a cat-cow stretch. Forward. Start to wave through your spine. Let's think of that length again. Lifting the layers of abdominals. Wrapping the shoulders towards your back pockets. We're just going to hit this once more. Then we'll all meet out in front, wrapping those shoulders back and down. Woo. Sliding the collarbones wide. And let's just hold in this plank-like position. Lifting the layers of abdominals, looking just beyond your fingertips, standing into those shoulders. Easy breathing. Last inhale. And exhale. Now lift the layers of abdominals, shifting your weight back. Take a moment and hold. You can stay there. That can be your plank for today if you would like. Or if you'd like to start to make it bigger, let's wave our spine back out. Starting first in a tabletop position, wrap the shoulders towards your back pockets, lift the layers of abdominals, press your right leg straight, flexing energy through the heel, lift the layers, bring the left leg to meet it, right? So either in a kneeling or a full plank, wherever you're at, find your breath. Exhale, lift the layers. Widen your collarbones. Do you feel the back of your arms waking up? Not just the front. Last one. And exhale. Gently bend one knee, the other one, and shift the weight back. Ooh, take a moment. We're going to move back and forth now between a pike and a plank. So same idea. If you're in kneeling, it's kind of like that first child's pose and plank we did. If you're in a full leg extension or full plank, it'll be more like a pike and downward dog. So waving your heart back forward, slide those shoulders. Like I said, you could be kneeling and move back and forth, or finding your shoulder girdle, press one leg straight, lifting the layers of abdominals, press the other leg to meet it. Use the weight behind you. Feel that sense of sink so that as you lift the layers, the heels drop and you stretch through the backs of your legs. I gotta walk my feet together just a little bit more. Set those shoulders back and down. Careful that you're not pinching the biceps to your ears, but widen the collarbones. Now think that your heels are going to start to push forward, waving the heart back forward over the wrists, lengthening through that spine, finding that plank. Then lift the layers, let the heels drop. Let the ankles feel heavy as it shifts the weight back. Last two, wave through the spine. Unfolding it, lengthening it, then lift, right? Think of your legs as really that continuation of your spine, long and straight. If you're out here in this plank, nice and long, slowly start to bend at the elbows, bringing yourself all the way down. Woo. Woo. Relaxing for a moment, coming down onto the mat. So from here, let's go ahead and gently press ourselves back. This time now we will take the weight out from around our ankles, letting it breathe for a minute. Set the weight out of the way. We're going to move through our twist and finish with our glute stretch. So from here, those hands will come behind you, feet in front of you. A little bit of our crab-like positioning so that when you push into your feet, lifting up through the hips, let's figure for the right foot over the left and gently sink that back down. And just breathe. Picture a little bit like your body's a hammock and you're going to lean back into that hammock. This is one time that I actually am totally cool with letting those shoulders come up. I feel a stretch kind of in the low ribs when I shift my weight back like this, which I think feels really good. Easy breathing. Try to send the breath back into those ribs, as though there's like a balloon in your rib cage. You feel it expand, all while stretching back into that taut sort of rib cage. Gently start to shift yourself forward enough so that you can pivot, shifting the weight onto that left glute. You're going to see more of my backside. The right foot is going to come down onto the floor. Start to pick your right arm up and use the hip to start to press yourself forward, placing that hip down. Left hand's going to come up, grabbing onto the leg in front of you. Try to set the hip down, circling the right arm up and around. Think of your saw again. Think of the way that you twist through the body, but anchor through the pelvis. So I am looking back at you guys. Oh, can you soften your left shoulder just a little bit? Can you let go of your left hip flexors and your right hip flexors? Are they holding for some reason? Your arm has your thigh, so you can let go of everything else. Gently, you're going to start to adjust your right hip enough so that your pelvis is a little more square to the feet in front of you, and you place your right thigh, or right shin, on top of your left. I'm going to turn a little bit better so that you're starting to open the outside of your right hip. This might be tight in those hip flexors, so don't worry about trying to push the knee down or try to think you're supposed to get somewhere. Just kind of let gravity help you out with this. If it feels good to deepen it just a little bit, maybe you start to lean the body weight forward ever so slightly. Try to breathe and feel like you're letting go of that stress. Talked about the ego earlier, right? Let go of the expectations for yourself, where you think you're supposed to be. Just sort of leaning in to that sense of openness that you're exploring. Gently shifting your weight back. We're going to deep pretzel our legs coming out of this stretch. Those feet will come back down onto the mat. Hands behind you again, excuse me, as we find the figure 4 facing the other way. See if sides feel a little different, right to left. You can start to shift the weight onto that foot. Left foot's coming down. The left sit bone gets picked up, and it's like you're going to turn the sit bone to face or to kiss towards that right ankle. Right arm is going to hold on to the left to help the shoulder girdle stretch around, and then the left arm is going to reach back. And again, start to sense, are you clenching in your hip flexors? Are you clenching in your neck or your shoulders? Is that right shoulder doing a lot of work? Or can you just, like with the bracket of your right elbow, hold on to the knee and let just that right angle keep it there? Try not to like hold on to it with the shoulder and the neck. Turning, looking to the left. Take some easy breaths here. Keep trying to get that left sit bone to soften closer to the mat. As you come out of it, just enough so that you can kind of adjust your pelvis, stepping that right foot away from you ever so slightly so that the left knee can drop towards the right foot, and just see how this side feels. A little different, maybe the same, maybe more open, maybe less. Stay here if you'd like, just letting gravity help to kind of open up that left hip. Or maybe you start to walk your feet forward just a little bit. Excuse me, hands forward. And again, try to soften into the body. Letting it know it's okay, just to release. Breathing into the stretch. And then softening around the stretch. Letting go of that feeling of control, of clenching, of needing to do everything. Easy breathing into the spread of your sacrum behind you. Gently walking yourself back up. Kind of deep pretzeling your legs. Find a comfortable seated position, whatever speaks to you. Maybe a newfound crisscross, maybe a wide second, maybe your hips are feeling super open and it feels really good. We're going to close with a nice easy breath. So however you'd like to sit, you can grab that bolster or the foam roller if you'd like. Try to feel both sit bones. And then try to, again, let go of those hip flexors. So that while they're folded, you're not clenching, but they feel soft and open. Stack the weight of the head, spread of the rib cage, weight of the pelvis so that you feel gravity is helping to keep that spine in line. Nice easy breath, wide into the ribs, deep into the back of your lungs. And exhale completely. We're going to do that again, about a 5 count. Inhale. And easy exhale. Thank you so much, everybody. That's class.